What's easier, chasing 100 jobs or building one relationship that brings you hundreds of opportunities? Now, after helping more than 300 contractors across the United States with their business, we've learned one simple truth. Most successful companies don't chase jobs, they build relationships. All right, so here's what we're going to dive into. We're going to go into very quickly the potential of property managers, the truth, what we found out about property managers, like what we wish someone would have told us. The most effective framework we'll go into that we've used and we've discovered in the last 8 years. Is there any room for you in this market today? Last thing I'll cover is that demo I mentioned. It takes less than 60 seconds. Here's the golden question. What would 500K in recurring revenue from one single client for decades mean for your business? The typical sales cycle is one-time job clients. They're only as good as your ads, as good as your sales reps' closing abilities, and they can be very sporadic and unpredictable. Property management and HOAs are a bit different. It's more compounding. It's built on something that I'm about to share with you. What that key difference is that it's actually built on trust. Here's a few stages you actually have to go through. Everyone wants to be that preferred vendor, but you have to be liked. You have to be in front of them. You have to engage with them. You have to have a couple of interactions with them. When you are trusted, you're in, right? You're one step closer to the last step, which is becoming that preferred vendor. But from what we have seen over the years, is you must be liked and you must be trusted in order to become a preferred vendor. There is no way around it. You might be wondering, well, David, that doesn't really answer my question. I know that, but what exactly do I have to do? I'll show you right here. In order to go from unknown to being a preferred vendor, you have to go through something called relationship maturity. And the way you need to go about this is through something we like to call quality interactions. You need multiple quality interactions to build a relationship. Every single interaction gets you one step closer. As a relationship matures, guys, there's a framework you must follow. We call it our relationship development framework, and it has 4 key pillars, right? So at first, a customer profile. It must be developed, and this is the qualified stage. You need to understand how they operate, how they select vendors, what services they use, whether you're a fit for them, whether they're fit for you. You need that for every property manager. The second one is the preferred vendor positioning. This is about how you move from being unknown to being known, to liked, to trusted, being that preferred vendor. The outcome here is a trusted relationship built through quality interactions. Harvard came out with a study that says you need at least 9 to 12 quality interactions for someone to consider buying. Now, it's actually probably moved up more to 15 since the blowing up of content. The third is what we call market response. This is about gathering feedback, repositioning, understanding how the market's responding to you, what makes you a 10 out of 10 in their eyes. This is market intelligence. Understanding how the market actually feels about you is very, very important. The last component here is what we call the relationship expansion. The relationship expansion, all it is that once a relationship hits a certain threshold of maturity or a metric of maturity, you could actually talk about things, talk about commitment language a lot easier, right? So this is where master service agreements are born, exclusivity, maintenance agreements. The outcome here is the long-term growth. So here's the question you've probably been asking yourself. Is there any room for me in this market in 2026? And here's what the market shows, right? A few thousand decision makers control a $41 billion portfolio in vendor work, and it's expected to grow every year by 8% steady. So there's a lot of room to go around. You're not working with property managers. Remember, you're chasing one-off jobs. And when you're on that vendor list, you get access to hundreds and thousands of opportunities, portfolios, catalogs. 30 to 45% of property managers have actually responded back saying they don't have a preferred vendor. So it is a great time to go after property managers. All right, so you've officially made it to the end. Now, as promised, I'll show you how to generate your own territory snapshot in less than 1 minute. Here we go. You're going to want to click on something called Check Your Territory. Once you click on that, it's going to ask you to just punch in some zip codes. Put in the zip code, answer a few questions, it's going to ask for your email so we can send you out the snapshot. Once you get the email, it's going to look like this. Very cool. You can download this as a PDF, show you all the property managers in your area, the decision makers, and how many permits have been pulled. It's actually a part of the growth and other areas here. Very, very neat. You can share this. You can, do whatever you like, check a different territory, and so far to your heart's content. You're going to notice at the bottom there is a natural next step where you can find out what your territory is actually worth and so forth. See you on the other side if it makes sense to you.